Okay, we're watching Blama, who's going to be playing Diva. This is on Ilios, and it's Bronze 5 on console. I feel like I'm missing something as a tank, but can't pinpoint what. I feel like as a tank there's some fundamental skill I'm missing, but I don't know what that is. I carry some games to victory, I do well but lose in some games, and I flop completely in other games. Though with these, it's usually obvious stuff like poor matchup or bad positioning. I'd like a set of fresh, unbiased eyes to give criticism of my gameplay. Rip me apart. They posted a couple replay codes. There's a win and there's a loss. I picked a loss, and then I also asked them, have they ever watched the gameplay guide before for any of the heroes they played? Because they played Ramatra, Diva, and Orisa. And they said not for Ramatra, and then yes for Diva, and didn't mention anything about Orisa. So that's why I'm old and calling the Diva gameplay. So I think that I'm starting to trend towards not doing VOD reviews of especially lower ranked play where people have not watched the gameplay guide first, because I think watching a video like dramatically improves your gameplay, and I feel super repetitive saying like the same basic things like over and over and over again. So I think to some extent I'm going to start asking people like, have you seen a guide? If you haven't seen a guide, then you should watch a guide first, because that's going to help you a lot more than like me explaining. It's sort of like, if I was trying to teach somebody how to play basketball and and I'm like, oh, do you know what the rules are? And they're like, oh, I don't know what the rules are. I'm like, well, I don't want to teach you the rules every single time. Like, that's like super frustrating and boring. Like, just go watch like a 2-minute video on the rules of basketball first before, we cover anything else. All right, so we're covering Diva here. So Diva, especially on this map, is going to play fairly brawly, right? There's not a lot of high ground here for the most part, especially since the enemy team is basically not going to use high ground at all. So it's going to be a lot of low ground control. And as Diva, you're really looking for what are the matchups where I can bully whoever I'm fighting. Right? I don't want to be fighting somebody who can blow me up. I want to be fighting somebody that I can blow up. So for example, I don't want to take fights against Reaper. Reaper does like 220 damage a second, not including headshots, and he's definitely going to hit headshots on me because I have a giant head hitbox as Diva. So I don't want to fight Diva. But fighting, like, for example, Moira. Moira's a great target, right? Moira barely does any damage against me. I can blow up pretty easily. I can follow her after Fade. Moira's a good target, right? Ramatra, when can I fight him? When can I not fight him? Well, in Nemesis form, he only does like 80 damage a second, so I can bully him then. In Staff form, he does 100 damage a second, so I can still bully him then, because as a reminder, Diva does 144 damage a second with guns, plus an extra 70-ish when she's using missiles. So I can outdamage him in punch form for sure, right? With Staff, I can situationally outdamage him. Depends on, several different factors, but it sometimes, right? What I would note here is that when he's in Nemesis form, right, punch form, he's much more durable and he can hold block. So I have to be careful about wasting my time shooting him while he's blocking. But in Staff form, he has a lot less health than me, so I can blow him up relatively quickly, even if he does more damage than me. So Rasha, sometimes I can bully, sometimes not. Moira, I can always bully, right? Junkrat, generally I can bully him, right? As long as I can eat the mines to prevent him from escaping. Soldier, I can pretty much always bully, as long as I'm near full health. And Kiriko, I can pretty much always bully. So Diva is like a good pick here, right? Pretty much everyone on the opposing team I can bully, and Defense Matrix absorbs like all their attacks with the exception of Moira Leech, which does barely any damage, and Coalescence, and Ramatra punches. Everything else here I can absorb, so I think Diva is a perfectly fine pick. So we're going to come out right now. Number one here is I see the Ramatra right now. This is Ramatra's low. You wouldn't have known Ramatra's low because you have to damage them within the last like X seconds in order to see it. But I would have shot him right now to see. Because reminder, I can still bully Ramatra even if he's full health situationally. I will outdamage him very, very consistently when he's in regular punchy form. So what I'm looking for here is I want to tag him while I'm running up, right? Just shoot him a little bit while I'm boosting up to see. And then I'd immediately realize, oh, he's super low in health. Then I stop in his face and I commit and I try to blow him up from there. Because I don't know why he's low. I don't know what's happened. I mean, again, I wasn't playing the game before this, so I don't know what the deal is in terms of like why he hasn't gotten a healer or whatever. But as soon as I realize, hey, he's missing 2/3 of his health, I'm going to try to kill him. Why not? Like, that's like the best possible option I have right now. But you're going to avoid him completely. And I understand this. I would guess that what's going on here is you probably are listening to advice to be like, hey, A, avoid the enemy tank, but B, also you see like your team is in, so maybe you're thinking, oh, you'll fly over to them. The problem is your boosters aren't going to get that far anyway. You have almost no boosters left, so you're going to stop basically at this corner. You're not going to be able to do anything to help your team anyway in the next 4 seconds until boosters come back. So I'm looking for the current period, for the next 4 seconds, what am I going to do while I wait for boosters to come back up, so then I can go fly over to the point. Well, what you can do right now is blow up the Ramattra. I think it is a very reasonable plan right now. In fact, arguably the best plan for you to stop right here and just immediately start attacking the Ramattra. I think the Ramattra has a very good chance of dying right now, even through Kiriko healing. Again, you're going to outdamage him. You also have, at this point in time, over 3 times as much health as he does. Diva's like the tankiest character in the game. I'm trying to remember. I did the math that once. She has something like 800, 850 effective health because of the it was like 800ish because of the extra armor bonus. So it's like really significant. So like you'll easily be able to out tank this Ramattra, even if he does like 50% more damage. Like it's not a problem. Like you're gonna beat him. So I think you should have stopped here and fought the Ramattra. Because in Ilios right now, what are you doing? Nothing. Right? You're just like kind of walking away. Also, you pop defense matrix despite the fact that there is literally nothing on your screen. So my general read here is I feel like you're probably fairly new to shooter games because you're having trouble with like kind of like basic aiming and reaction time, which is normal, right? If you're new to playing a game, that happens, especially if you're younger and you don't have experience, right? Like I'm an older gamer at this point, so I'm in my 30s, so I've been playing games like competitive shooters for 25 years. So I have like way more experience than the overwhelming majority of people that I'm reviewing for the most part, especially at a high level. But you turn here and you notice that you turn on Matrix, there's literally nobody here. It's kind of like an instinctual reaction, but like you should have known that because you stepped around the corner, you weren't going to be in any danger. And that's something that will come with time in game sets. But honestly, that's not like the biggest deal. So you can see the Kiriko right now. You said go with the Kiriko. I think this is good, right? You want to activate missiles right now, try to kill her. Okay, yep, she pops. Fine. I still have missiles, though. I still have a lot of missiles left. I want to use the missiles to blow up the Ramattra here, because the Ramattra right now is still in Nemesis form. Sorry, not Nemesis, Omnic form, Staff form. So he's vulnerable. So I could potentially do a lot of damage to the Ramattra right now, which would be great. So unfortunately, you don't do that, and now you just have to fly away. The thing is, you're going for the Kiriko, which honestly is a pretty good play. I don't hate this. I think this is fine, right? You know the Kiriko is swift stepped, right? So you're trying to go kill her. You go here, and you kill her. Great. The only note here would be that when you fly in, you could have killed her a little faster, because once she drops, now you can kill her instantly. Why? So each box of a health bar is equal to 25 health. So once she hits the final box, you know she has 25 health or less. Your melee attack comes out instantly, and it does 30 damage. So at this point, I don't even need to worry about aiming. I can just attack with a melee, because your melee has a massive hitbox. It's like literally like this much of your screen is the melee attack. So as long as they're anywhere in the center of your screen, you hit melee and she will get hit and then she will die instantly. That way you don't have to worry about trying to finish her off, because it actually takes you a pretty long period after this, right? Miss, 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 and then finally you get her. So you could have killed her, about half a second faster. Is it a big deal this time? It's not, but sometimes it will, because that half second could be enough for her to get more healing, or slow step away, or Suzu herself, or like any number of things. You get demeched. Just a note here. So Ramatra's here. So you also see there's a soldier right now, and you hear shooting. So this is kind of a tricky period. I would say number one, the Ramatra is still somewhat low, which I think you would know right now. I think you probably know what his health is, A. But B is the soldier is shooting, and the soldier is in active danger. I think that you have kind of branching possibilities of what you could do right now. Option number one is, especially because the Ramatra's pointed away from you, you could try to commit and kill a Ramatra. You have missiles coming up pretty soon. He's half health. I think blowing up the Ramatra here is a reasonable play. Option number two is that you could hold down defense matrix and shut down the soldier. Soldier is really, really dangerous. He's very close right now, so his accuracy is likely to be really good. He's probably going to helix somebody pretty soon, which means your Lucio is likely going to die. The problem here is that even if you matrix a soldier, it is very likely the Ramatra is going to kill Lucio anyway. So you're going to waste this time matrixing the soldier, and then your Lucio is going to die, and then you're still going to have the Ramatra and the soldier to deal with. I think in this situation, I probably blow up the Ramatra. Certainly live, I think I blow up the Ramatra, but it could go either way. I think either one of them are reasonable options here, is to either kill the Ramatra right away or matrix the soldier. There's actually a third option here, is to fly over and try to kill the soldier, which I think is also potentially reasonable, actually. I think that's honestly probably better than option two, now that I think about it. So I think flying over and fighting the soldier would also be okay. So let's figure out which option you do. So you start shooting the Ramatra. Okay, again, you see we're kind of aim has some issues. As a general standard, at close range, you pretty much shouldn't miss tanks. So once you start approaching, obviously you're bronze 5 right now, right? Bronze 5, bronze 4. Once you start approaching gold, I think you're already looking at 60% plus tank accuracy. Accuracy against tanks, that is. When you're in platinum, you're looking at like 75%. When you're at diamond, you're looking at 90 to 95% accuracy, and then it's basically 100% up from there, to give you a perspective. So right now, your tank accuracy is like, it varies, but I would say probably something like 35, 40%. So you got some work there to build up, which will take time and practice. So we'll go over here. I think the problem is right now I don't really want to commit on the Ramatra. Now things have changed because now he's facing towards me. Now that he's facing towards me, he can just hold block and literally just sit in the corner, and I'm going to waste my time. So at this point in time, I really want to be targeting anybody else or shutting down the soldier and then the Junkrat. But I wouldn't know about the Junkrat quite yet right now. So now there's a lot going on. I see 2 DPS here. I probably hold Matrix at this moment in time and shut down both DPS. Like right now, you hold Matrix, and then let's do the vertical view. So you have one target here, one enemy here, one enemy here. You hold Matrix like that, and it stops all of their attacks trying to go through, right, this box. Which means that you're effectively taking down like stunning, to some extent, 2 heroes for like two full seconds, and then after that you can go and blow people up, right? I think that's probably your best play right now at this moment in time versus trying to continue to get the kill. So you continue to try to kill the Ramatra. See, the Ramatra gets away, right, and you get demech. So this is like the big mistake here, and now, it's really unfortunate because now you're out of mech. But the good news is, well, sort of good news is, your Junkrat kills a soldier, so it's still winnable, right? More trying to kill you with coalescence, but you're being healed, so you're good here. Aim is a problem, that's fine. But one of the things you want to note is, I can hear out of my left ear, hopefully you're wearing a headset. If you're not wearing a headset, wear a headset. I can hear out of my right ear, I can hear sound coming from my right side. And that sound is coming from the enemies over here. Because I remember I saw the Ramatra go up the stair earlier. The Ramatra's going to be returning. I hear the Ramatra, I hear the Junkrat out of my right ear. Again, these sounds are coming from over here, which means I'm in danger, right? In which case, I don't actually want to be there. Where I want to be, because in tank form, when I'm in mech, I can play up front. But since I don't have tank form, I actually want to play somewhere back here, ideally probably somewhere over here where I have cover, and I want to farm my mech back. I do not want to die right now. Dying right now probably costs us the fight, because then we don't have a tank and they do have a tank, which is going to be bad for me. So I need to back up right now in order to make sure that I live so I can farm back mech, because you'll get back mech really quickly. Dio farms mech really, really fast. Every bullet is giving you 5% ult charge, so you'll need to hit 20 bullets without, not including natural time increase of ult, to get your mech back. So it's really not that hard. The problem is you're going to leave yourself open to the right for too long, and then the Ramatra's going to come down, and then he's going to kill you. So this is a big mistake, and totally avoidable, because you have your whole team here. If you just back up, you get 2 supports right now, you just back up, play backside of the point, you probably farm your mech back like right away on the Ramatra, and then, you'll win the fight. But because of this, you're not going to be able to come back, and you're going to lose. Okay, so that's that point over. Let's talk about the next point. We're coming out right now. As a general rule for this point, you really want to be playing, there's actually a lot of different strategies for playing Lighthouse, but I would say, generally speaking, you want to be playing in one of 3 possible areas. I'm going to cover the first 2, I'm going to cover the first one, which is, I would least recommend, because it's the most complicated. The first option is actually to go straight to point. We'll call that option 1. The reason why I'm covering that first and telling you not to do it is because it actually requires a lot of synergy with your team. Like, your team needs to know, hey, the plan is to go to point. They don't actually all need to go to point, but they have to understand we're going to be fighting on the point. It is very common to do this when you have like a Symmetra or a Torb, where you really want the defensive advantage of playing the point. The reason why playing here is not a good idea, by the way, is because the enemy can just take positions all around the point, and they can pummel you. But the good news, that's the con. The pro is you have control of the point, you're going to cap it, and if you have defensive advantage of kind, like turrets, then you can potentially hold in that scenario anyway. Or you have somebody mobile who touches the point, caps it, and then leaves the point, and then they're forced to try to figure out how to get onto the point. Anyway, that is the most complicated version of how to take this, to push this map, or start the map. Option number 2 is you play somewhere in this space, okay? This is most commonly done by brawl tanks. And the reason being is that you have a very close attack angle from here into the enemy team. So in this situation, you're like, hey, look, if I'm playing Rhine, if I'm playing Orisa, if I'm playing Roadhog, right? You play right here, and you're like, hey, look, can I get a pick here? Can I pressure the back line? Like, maybe they split, right? Maybe their team half goes this way, right? And then half goes this way. Well, if they have 2 people over here and 3 people over here, you can then push into these 3 people and then kill them, and then rotate to the point and then kill these 2, even if they cap the point first, right? That's a good example of why you play that side. So you play, again, right over here to be like, hey, look, I wonder what's going to happen. So this is, we'll call it position 2. Position 3 is to play high ground. It's similar to position 2, but it gives you a little more flexibility because you have the ability to respond to, for example, if they're rushing towards point, right? If they're rushing towards point, then I have the opportunity to go and try to cut off any of the stragglers in the backline, because they'll have some people who are faster and some people are slower. Like, for example, if they have ball and tracer, the ball and tracer might be on point, but the on is coming up slow, and then I can attack and kill the honor, or at least zone her out, and then deal with whoever's on the point. Anyway, position 3 gives you more flexibility. You're a little closer. It's slower to get up there because you have to take the stair unless you have mobility, like if you're Winston or Diva. I think mobile heroes, as a general rule, should start up here. I would also note that playing up here is a good idea if you have poke heroes. If you have, for example, a soldier or an Ashe or a Widow, playing up here, even as somebody like Junker Queen, you can deflect a Winston who tries to attack you. I know this is getting like very complicated, and honestly this stuff is like way beyond Bronze 5 level and not like your primary issue. I'm just kind of giving this because I think it's interesting to talk about like educationally, and it maybe kind of gives you some idea for like how complicated the game can get. All right, so done with that. So you start here, and you're gonna go high ground, which is totally fine, right? So again, here not so helpful. I would like play up here and be able to see. For example, you notice that you're slowing down to hit the fences and stuff like that. If you just flew all the way here, I identify, hey, look, this soldier's out right now, and I already be clocking. If this soldier goes to the left here, I will kill him because I see the rest of his team is over there, so they don't have the opportunity to come and save him. And most likely, I'm not actually going to kill him. What's going to happen is do a lot of damage, and he's going to run, he's going to get a mega, which is great. I will take that. Then I take space, and I burn resources, and it's good. So this is not good. So you just flew in here, and the problem is that now you don't have boosters, and you're stuck in the open. And there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong at this moment in time once you go in. So for example, they could have like flanked around you, right? Or they could have a Pharah going over the top, right? And then now you don't have boosters to react to that. So boosters is like a relatively low cooldown, but don't use them recklessly and try to figure out what do I need to do. But I think a good general idea here is, okay, yes, they have Ramattra. Yes, their idea here, right? If we look at the information we have right now, is they came from this direction, and they're probably going to rotate this way and go on to the point from there. So our goal is that we're going to go here. This is a bell tower. We're going to go bell tower, and from here we are going to pressure them from bell tower. Alternatively, we could rotate to the point and play from there. That's tougher, though, for a variety of reasons. Most notably, you need to be in sync with your team, and they need to be able to heal you from that distance. If they can't, I think it's much safer to play bell tower. So I think bell tower here is the right general idea, but we don't want to stop here. We want to stop here. And even a few meters of difference can make a big difference on how much damage you take and how much damage you deal. So we're backing out right now. This is a mistake. What's happening right now is you're ceding space to the enemy by you backing out. You see your mortar faded in, expecting you to continue holding this area. You retreating allows them to walk forward, right? You'll notice that as soon as you were here, as soon as you've gone this way, their team now pushes into the space that you just vacated, which applies pressure to your Moira, which is dangerous for her. So this is not a good call on your side. You need to maintain that front line in this situation, because again, in this particular map, in this particular lineup, you're going to play very brawly, right? You have plenty of healing here with the Moira, like you can like fight them face head on. So Ramattra's here, he's gonna fight. I mean, honestly, just fight it. Like, you're with your Moira, like, you could just fight this if you want to. Like, it's fine. Ramattra really doesn't do a lot of damage to tanks. So you see trap on the ground, then walk in the trap. Force Moira fade, excellent, right? Figure out where she faded to. So you see the Moira here, yep, try to confirm the kill. Yeah, ate the damage orb, I think this is good. Again, you can be like a little quicker with the reactions, but I think the general decision making here is good. You want to find her and activate missiles, because you do have missiles right now. 2, 1. I would note is that I'm taking a lot of damage right now, so I don't really want to be chasing outside. I want to stay inside for what is safe. So safety right now is based entirely on cover. So this is a piece of cover, right? This is a piece of cover, and over here is a piece of cover. So I want to stay anywhere that's here, right? Or maybe here, but this is probably not because they can attack that angle. So I probably want position 1 and position 2. Going outside when I'm already low risks me taking too much damage and demeching, because my healer is right here, right? My healer is right there, so my healer can help me if I'm here or if I'm here. But if I step outside, then I'm in extreme danger and I'm going to demech. And you never want to get demeched. Demeching is almost always a mistake, with the exception of if you have ulti and you plan on demeching. So you're outside right now. You're very lucky to not just instantly pop right now. The Junkrat can instantly just demech you. Right, Junkrat's combo does 220 damage, so if he fires one grenade and then and the combo, he just instantly demechs you. So Yeah, see, you're getting blown up right now by the Ramatra, and then you're going to get demeched, and then things are going to go poorly from here. So, let's think about, what if we didn't do that? What if instead of leaving the point, we decide to play inside of the point? So right here, again, let's kind of look at what happens from here. So you see your team's trying to heal you, right? Both the Lucio and Moira are healing you right now. You leave, and they can't chase you because they're being zoned by the Lucio and the Moira. As a result, they're fighting for the lives in here. But if you're standing right here, you probably kill the Moira because you do a lot of damage. So you kill the Moira here, then you help them kill Lucio, and you're good. But when you leave the point like that, now your supports are left to fend for themselves, and then now it's going to go poorly, right? They eventually get worked down. You're going to die outside, and then their supports end up winning the day, and then you lose. If you stay inside the point, if you use cover, you stay alive, you deflect their supports and or kill them, and then you cap. But instead, you end up dying because you chased unnecessarily. Okay, your supports are still alive, right? Ramatra gets pops. So one thing I would note here is you heard the Cassidy, but he dies. Okay, that's fine. So you heard the Moira fade, so I maybe be looking for the Moira, right? I would hear the Moira fade in on my left. Again, this is why a headset's really important, because right here I heard the fade, and I heard her yell from my left. Plus you see the beam. So now I know Moira does not have fade. I now want to blow up the Moira. My priority here must be the Moira. I must just kill the Moira before anything else. Otherwise, this is not going to go well for me. Instead, you're focusing on Ramatra. This guarantees you're going to lose. Like, I literally don't need to say anything else. You're just, there's no way for you to win this. Because the Moira heals for like 130, 140 health a second with orb plus healing. You can't outdamage that. Like, it's not, with your guns alone, you'll be doing like 4 net damage. It'll literally take you hours to kill the Ramatra. It's not possible. So yeah, see again, if you don't kill the support first, now you're going to die. Alright, so that's that fight. So they finally cap. Ramatra comes in very, very deep. Okay, I mean, just blow him up right now. You don't really have a lot of choices, so he's going to do this. So when he tries to run into he's trying to run into your team right now, just fly into him right now with your boosters to bump him away. And then you can melee too for like a little bit extra force, I think, to bump him back. But realistically, like, you're not actually going to be able to stop him from moving. Like, he has way too much health, but just try to blow him up as fast as you can. There's nothing else you can do. But I think using boosters to knock him out of range actually is valuable and probably saves at least one of your supports. Is there more? Yeah, Morgan's going to live. So maybe save your bat. Okay, from here, tank is dead, DPS is dead. We lost one of our supports. More is still alive. I want to attack the point. So I want to attack the point based on the fastest possible route. So you're right here. Okay, you actually start moving to the left. Your fastest way to point is this way, going through the inside, right? The mega health pack is right here. Going through that way to go and get to the point. You want to get there as soon as you possibly can to try to cap before the enemy diva or enemy Ramatra comes back. Unfortunately, you take the pool side. This is called pool because there is a pool here, right there. You're going to get stuck here for a second, realizing there's no path, and then you're going to walk through it. I suspect part of this is probably just map knowledge, but you're here like 5-6 seconds later than you should as a result of that move. And that makes a huge difference, right? If you're here 5 seconds earlier, you might be on the point right now, and be able to potentially kill the Morex, or at least force out fade early. Now you have to deal with fade from the very beginning. So you work on the Moira. Okay, the number one note here is the Reaper here is extremely dangerous. Again, as I noticed earlier, Reaper does 220 damage per second. Against tanks, he's going to hit like 100% of his pellets. He's really not going to miss. With headshots, he could do up to 440 damage per second. Even for the tankiest character in the game, he can shred you. So when he's shooting his shotguns, unless you're imminently about to kill somebody, you need to matrix it until he stops shooting. Then you can try to do something. But to be perfectly honest, it's going to be really difficult to win this with just you and the Moira. You really need your DPS here to give yourself any chance. I think in general this is probably a really bad engage. But you don't matrix any of his damage. Again, he does massive damage. He does like 3 times as much damage as Lucio, for perspective. Beats gets popped, and then I think you just kind of give up on this fight. There's like nothing you can do. Alright, we're coming out again. So, Ramatra's here. I think I would note... Yeah, Ramatra gets really... I think he gets stuck in a trap. I think you can just fly over and kill him. But he does have Vortex right now, which is a good job. Don't shoot Ramatra shields. Ramatra shields have 1,000 health and they last 4 seconds. So, it almost never will you see a Ramatra shield break from damage. It's just better to ignore them and play around them. They don't last very long, so... So, what's our game plan here? Let's look at the setup. Well, we have us here, right? 2 here, one here, and then you have your fifth one over here, okay? So you have two guys over here, one, and then, you as the tank right there. The enemy setup right now is we have 4 over here. I don't even know where the fifth guy is. Is he maybe dead? I don't know. Question mark where the fifth guy is. Now, a very common thing that players will try to do is that they will try to bypass the enemy team and go to the point. I do not think that is a good idea. I think that is very likely to result in you getting shredded, right? You're going to separate from your team. They're going to get zoned behind you. Then they're going to get killed by the enemy team, and then they're going to come for you. Or vice versa. They're going to zone your team, kill you, and then kill the rest of your team. Either way, it's not good. Do not expect that you can touch the point here, and you have plenty of time, right? 65% you have plenty of time. You have basically 30 plus seconds of time. So your goal here is I need to bust open the front of this, especially if we have a 5v4 advantage, right? Hopefully you're tracking the kill feed and you know how many are out right now. So if you know your advantage, you need to bust open the front. And because you out-brawl Ramatra for the most part, and you just saw him use shield, it's actually a reasonable time right now to try to apply damage pressure and try to destroy this group. I think you have to start from here and take care of them before you go anywhere else. That's kind of should be your perspective right now. Let me actually check. Oh, the fifth person's all the way over here, so it's the Widow. Yeah. I think flying to point here is not going to do anything. I think you have to challenge their front line. All right. Widow kills, or your Widow kills their Reaper, which is even better. Now is an even better time. I think going for Lucio now is good. Yep. Good. Yeah, excellent. Yep. You killed the Lucio real quick. Go for the Moira. Good. Small micro note. When you boost at the Moira, it's very likely she's going to use Fade. So instead of releasing boosters early, right? Hold on to it. Instead of releasing her out, hold on to it. And that way you're still boosting. She fades, and then where is she likely to fade? Well, probably towards the point. So I just keep flying towards the point and then see what happens. Alternatively, I could be like, you know what? I don't know where she's going to go. I'm just going to go up towards the Widow. I don't think you have enough boosters to get there, but just an idea. But if you had boosters, you'd probably be over here, and now you'd be close to the Moira, and now you could go after her. But see, now you're pretty far away, so you do a lot less damage because of how far away you are. But good job killing her, right? Again, you finished her off after Fade, which is good. You're going to move on to the point, and you're going to cap. Good. So there's our first cap. So now that we capped, where do we want to go? You want to hold this area up here. Up here. Why? Because this allows you to threaten this direction, and it allows you to threaten this direction, and it prevents them from being able to take high ground away from you to, their Widow to step up here and kill anybody. So you want to be standing right here, somewhere up top, using sound and sight to figure out which direction they're going, and then making a game plan from there. You don't want to be on point. This is the whole concept of taking space preemptively as tanks. Your team doesn't need you on point. You need to be out here figuring out what are they going to do and getting ready to react. So you see how you fly over and you land low ground. As a general rule for D.Va, try to end your boosters on high ground when nothing else is going on. Because if you're on high ground, you can always be like, oh, hey, I need to drop, and drop instantly. But let's imagine that you're like, oh, there's the Lucio's up there alone. I can't get up there without waiting another 4 seconds. So staying in good positions helps you win games. So Reaper dies instantly. Yeah, just fly over. So the enemy team has rotated a very strange direction, and this is a good reason why you should get out front. So we're gonna see. So you capped it right now. So as soon as you cap now, I would be heading from here to high ground. Now, what ends up happening is their Ramatra and Lucio are gonna come out. We see them over there, and then they are going to rotate. Zoom out a little more. They are going to rotate through this gallery over here. The Lucio's going to rotate, and the Ramatra somehow comes from, I don't know how the heck the Ramatra's over there, but the Ramatra's over there, and so they're going to rotate from here behind you. Now, I am kind of confused how the Ramatra got over there. You probably went over to go kill your Widow or something. But if you're playing up here, at least you would have seen the Lucio rotating, and then you could have dove and killed the Lucio, at a minimum. But now the problem is you're playing low ground, the Ramatra's going to get in here, and the Lucio's here, and you need to immediately be in response mode. When I see, you can see out of your corner of your eye that the Ramatra is coming in, you need to stuff this doorway right now. And what I mean by stuff this doorway is literally fly over and sit in the doorway and prevent the Ramatra from doing anything. The Ramatra does not want to be fighting you because you do more damage than he does. You do like almost double the damage that he does. He wants to go after your squishies, who he can kill a lot more consistently than you can. So he wants to get by you to kill your squishies. But if you stop physically sit in the doorway, he cannot get by you. And then he's like, oh shoot, and he's gonna try to go this way. Great, then you just rotate here, and then you stand in this doorway and you stop him from doing anything. That's how you defeat Ramatra in this situation. You need to get there right away, right now. But you go after Lucio. As a result, the Ramatra gets free. But the good news is he doesn't go after your back line, so you get a chance to blow up Lucio. Okay, this is good. I think you need to turn around right now and deal with the Ramatra, because now he's gotten in, and now he's fighting everybody. You really need to shoot him. Holding Defense Matrix does nothing, because Defense Matrix doesn't work against punches. He's going to keep punching, right? Now he's killed your Junkrat, and he's killed your Lucio, or, sorry, Mora, and the Mora assist, and now everyone's dead, and then things are going to go poorly. You pop Bomb here. Bomb is never going to kill anyone, as a general rule. Diva Bomb is one of the worst ultimates in the game. And it's generally used as just a second life, because it takes so long to explode that basically every single character has enough time to get to cover or use a defensive ability to avoid dying to it. That's why Diva Bomb is considered such a bad ability. But right now, I mean, at 82%, I think that I take a chance that we're going to come back and contest, because I don't think I can win this fight with the bomb. Very luckily, you kill him with Diva Bomb somehow. I have no idea how this is even possible. Oh, he gets stuck in a Junkrat trap. Okay, this is extremely lucky. All right, so you somehow kill the Ramatra, and then you remech. So now that with the tank dead, it is winnable. But the problem is now there's 3 people on the point, and then you're gonna get shredded. The correct move, as soon as you heard the Reaper coming, is now zoom out and then fly over here, get the Mega, and then recontest with your team. That would actually be totally fine. But I want to back up here, because you lose this because the Ramatra gets 3 kills. As a reminder, I mentioned earlier is you should just body block the doorway and prevent the Ramatra from getting in. In this situation, you go for the Lucio. And I understand this because you're trying to kill Lucio, but A, Lucio doesn't actually do that much damage. Or healing, right? Lucio's not good at either one of those things. I think that I understand killing this Lucio first, but the problem is the Ramatra's able to get in behind you, and then he uses his opportunity to kill all your squishies. And that's kind of the issue right now. If you had instead ignored the Lucio, because your Lucio's not going to kill 3 people, right? That's like not possible. If you just body blocked the Ramatra and prevented him from getting anywhere, then the Ramatra gets no value here. Your team kills a Lucio, then they heal you and kill the Ramatra. So this is a good lesson about when it's important to out-brawl the opposing tank. And you can't do it all the time, and you can't do it against all heroes. So for example, you don't want to out-brawl like Orisa, for example, right? You don't want to out-brawl Maga, for example, right? There's a lot of different situations of like when it makes sense or not, and that's like what part of learning the game is, understanding when is a good idea, when is it a bad idea. But like this is a really good example where like, look, you killed the Lucio, but now the Ramatra's just going to kill your entire backline. And like you just can't do enough damage to stop him, and now you've lost the fight because you just gave up 3 people on your team. So I don't think you have another contest after this. Okay, yeah, I mean like you're theoretically touching the point, but this is gonna go pretty poorly because everyone's clumped together. Like you show up late because you died last. Ramatra kills 2, and now you're gonna lose no matter what. Okay, so to recap, I think you generally make the right decision. I think you have the right like kind of base fundamentals. I think your accuracy is an issue, and I think that's something you're kind of naturally improve upon. I think I more so want to focus on your general positioning and like where to go, when to go, and in particular when you need to deal with the opposing tank. Because the MVP carry of this game is definitely the opposing Ramatra. Like he's consistently wiping your team like over and over and over again. And if you identify that and you're like, wait, Diva beats Ramatra face up, just continue taking fights against the Ramatra over and over again, I think that would have resulted in you winning the game. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to link other like Diva resources. I'm going to link Ramatra resources as well, because I know you said you didn't actually watch a guide, so I can link my guide as well and see, and Arisa as well, and see what you think of those. Okay, hopefully this is helpful.